Welcome to the Spoiler Kings movie review. My name is Tankcramer. I'm with Will, Peppa MD. You can find him on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, all over there. He put some good stuff up on TikTok.
Thank you. What's up, guys?
What is going on, man? So this week is the I think the first scary movie of the year.
Yeah, right. The first
Up, Oli.
one
Hey, y'all.
right before the summer starts.
Yeah.
This one kind of kick it off. It's a good one.
Yeah, the first scary movie back to the theaters, and The Conjuring is such a good series. So this is the 8th movie in the Conjuring universe, but it is the third one of the main OG cast. You know, about the Warrens and their
adventures
based on true story kind of thing. Yeah. I gotta say, like, I slept on this brand for a long time because I didn't get into The Conjuring #1 until my girlfriend, maybe mid 2020, was like, "Oh, we should watch it." Hooked. I thought it was something different. I can't remember. It was a different one that I thought it was.
Okay.
And I was wrong, and I was hooked on The Conjuring. And then we watched 1, we watched 2, and then we watched Annabelle, and then that's where we kind of stopped because I heard Annabelle 2 was kind of like not that great. I heard The Nun was really not good, and La Llorona was really not good. So I have them, but I haven't watched them yet. Ollie said you guys went to the first one in theaters.
Yeah, when you watch these, you got to watch them in a certain order. Like there's a chronological order, and then there's the order that they were released. If you watch it in the linear order of how time happened, you're gonna watch The Nun first, and you're gonna watch a few other ones that are different before you get to even the first Conjuring, or the second. So like maybe that can also alter the way you see the series, because if you go into any of these movies blindly, you might not catch on. You might not get hooked the way you or I did. You know, I've been watching it since the first Conjuring, but only because of what's his name, Patrick Wilson.
Yeah,
he was so good. He was in that movie Insidious, and I really love that series too.
Insidious, that's the one I thought. I didn't care for Insidious too much.
You didn't care? No, I liked it because it deals with like astral projection. I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
But just his involvement in that movie, I think like he just does a good job when it comes to like the jump scares and setting up those kind of scenes. I think he's really good. He excels in that. And so him in this series, again, he's like my favorite like horror actor right now, for sure.
Yeah, he's just I think a good actor in general. He's so good in everything he does because he was an Aquaman. He played the villain kind of in Aquaman, and he's really good in a lot. But I think that's what got me confused because I was like, he was in Insidious as well, and then I was like, oh, I saw it, and I'm like, oh no, and then she was like, oh, it's this one, and I was like, oh wait, and then I saw, I was like, oh, it's different. I enjoy this one best. I think this is like definitely one of my favorite scary movies recently. You know, you have your classic ones, you know, Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason, all that good stuff. But like this one is definitely all based on true events kind of thing.
Yeah.
For me, the scariest parts were like at the end of all the movies, they show the actual footage, actual pictures, and sound and stuff like that. I was like, man, that's creepy.
That's bone chilling for sure. I get a tingle down my back because it's like, oh snap! Like it wasn't just someone, you know, jotting something out of their head. No, it actually happened. It actually happened.
Yeah,
these events.
Yeah,
there's a real
like the actual Annabelle.
You said Annabelle too. Oh yeah, the real Annabelle doll was those dolls from back in the day, right?
The Raggedy Ann.
Yeah.
The original Annabelle is the real Annabelle is Raggedy Ann. Obviously, they couldn't use it because copyright and kind of stuff like that. But
definitely,
which I think the Raggedy Ann doll is way more scary looking than the doll they got in Annabelle. You know, but.
You know what's funny? I can't even take that doll serious anymore just from that Marlon Wayans film where he does like the parody.
Yeah, it was like a scary movie, I think, or something like that. Not scary. Is it a scary movie?
No. Haunted House 2, I think it was.
Oh, geez, yeah.
And he like gets all sexual with the doll. So childish, but so hilarious. So I can't take her serious. I am more scared of the actual Raggedy Ann doll than I am of her.
Of the Annabelle doll.
Yep.
But yeah, this one was pretty good. It definitely linked some of the Annabelle original stuff. You know, like if you know the backstories and stuff. The thing I like is you don't need to watch 1, 2, or 3. You don't need to watch Annabelle. You don't need to watch anything else. You can just jump into this movie or any of them and just go right with the flow. You know what I mean? It's like
you could.
That's one thing I really enjoy about like movies like that. It's like you don't need to watch it to enjoy it, but if you do watch the old ones, you see all the crossovers, all the references and stuff like that, which is cool too. But for somebody who's like, oh, I never seen them, and you just jump into this one, you won't miss a beat. It goes right into it. But you wanna watch the trailer?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Check it out.
We're doing reversed picture.
Yeah, it's flip. So hopefully. But yeah, this kind of the opening scene of it all.
Which is a crazy scene. Like look at all the forensics. Like if we had forensics back in the days, back in these times, as advanced as we do today, nuts.
Which the one thing I some of the big parts of this movie were spoiled in the trailer, and I was just like, oh, what? Like that part with he's bloody. There's the other part where she gets pulled off the ledge. I mean, that's in the trailer, so it's not really spoiling anything.
Yeah.
This one that we're watching is the last. It was the final trailer before the release.
Okay. So that's why it's got so much juicy scenes from there.
Yeah, it's a little bit shorter one too. Okay. But yeah, true case. This was a big thing in 1981, I believe.
So right. It's all about Arne Johnson. Yeah. Man, he is like the result or the greatest example, I should say, of what lengths men will go to try to get a girl. He's like, I will get possessed and take this demon with me so he doesn't take your little brother.
Yeah. Oh, there's some scenes in there that they weren't in the movie. That's weird.
They do that nowadays, man. They try to and try
which
to.
I don't mind.
They try to make those talking points too, which is fine. I think it's just at some point maybe they're gonna release. They're not spoiling, which is okay, but they like try to tease like an extended cut or something. I think that's the motivation behind that.
Yeah. Well, real quick, I think where is it? Hey, get out of here. Yeah, there's a part like he throws something off the table, and I don't remember him doing that. Yeah, he like where is it? Coming up. Like that part, I don't remember him doing that.
On the altar? That is a satanic altar. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember that part in the movie, and I just watched it today.
Just watched it?
I don't
remember. I don't know if it was or it wasn't.
Yeah.
It looks like well, obviously it looks like it's gonna fit in there. No, but it looks like it's like that was in there. Yeah. It doesn't seem out of place to me, I should say.
No, yeah. That's why I'm like, maybe you just missed it. But
a pretty interesting teaser, right?
Yeah.
The trailer definitely pulled me in. Like when I saw I don't know. I saw it I don't know, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, when I saw it. Like I've been seeing little teasers here and there about it, but then I really was like, oh, okay, let me see what it's about. And then I see it's about Arne Johnson. I was like, okay. And man, graphic images, like him with the blood in his hands, and him saying like, yeah, I think I did something. Like, man, it's pretty nuts. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if you should take your kids to see this one, but
yeah, definitely not for the kids because it's got some heavy stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even in the beginning where we saw in the trailer where the scratch marks in the wall and stuff, like that's made by a little kid, a little boy, David. You know, which is what you said. Like, you know, he had a thing for his sister, him and the little boy's sister, and Arne Johnson. They were dating. That's how his connection with this little boy that was possessed.
Right.
And I think this stuff I like because it's not like unbelievable. You know what I mean? Like I could see somebody like you know grabbing the little boy and like, oh, take me instead of him. Okay, I'm like, that's not unrealistic. That's not something crazy where you're like, yo, you're stupid. I mean, he is stupid for it. But I guess you want to play hero, and you're like, I can handle it, kind of thing.
That's been in a previous. Do you remember that scene or the idea in a previous movie, in the Exorcism movie? That was in one of the first Exorcism movies where the priest he tells a little girl, he's like, hey, you know, well, spoiler for Exorcism, but at the end of the Exorcism movie, the priest or whatever is like, hey, you know, take me instead, and then the fucking demon in her is like, okay, fine, and then like transfers over, and he jumps out the window and kills himself.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah,
it's not a new idea. But it's not a like unrealistic idea too, you know what I mean? It's like if you see like somebody that you love suffering,
right?
I mean, I'm sure a lot of like parents or adults and stuff like easily, you know, take the place. Annabelle kind of had was going the same direction too. If you saw like the first Annabelle, you know, like that whole thing, you know, kind of happened too.
I gotta ask you, so you having some medical kind of background, right? When that little boy, when he was possessed, very early in the movie, right?
Yeah.
When he's possessed and he's like on the table and he does that whole like, let me do a U shape with my body or like a letter A. Is that possible? Or is that possible? And then to live from that, he had to have breaking bones, no, or did something.
Yeah, I mean, medically, your spine doesn't do that, you know, and
No, I don't think
it's,
so.
you know, I mean, seriously, but the thing is, like, there's been exorcisms in the past that people saw that, you know, and then after either the demon one or the exorcism worked, the person was mostly fine, you know, and after like their body being so contorted like that, you know, it's just like it's just like stuff that can't be explained, you know what I mean? It's like it's crazy. It's like either you believe in it and you're just like, you know, these like extra powers in the universe kind of stuff, or you know, at the very least the human body can do some crazy shit, you know. So but yeah, I mean medically you bend somebody's back like that, they're paralyzed. They're paralyzed.
Oh,
I
okay,
mean,
okay.
yeah, there's no way.
I just
Yeah,
wanted that
the
confirmation.
spine, yeah, there's no way. But the kicker is that people said they saw that before, you know, like the Exorcism of Emily Rose. I'm sure if you've seen that one, that one's based on a true story as well, you know, and that was a lot of documentation from the priest. And you know, she did some crazy shit, you know, like to her body, you know, because of the demon. So yeah, medically it's like kind of impossible. And that was like a thing like with exorcisms is in order for the Catholic Church to get involved in it, they have to be like cleared medically. Like that they were everything was okay up until the point where they start acting crazy. They don't have any weird diseases or anything nuts with them, you know. So like the medicine part is like, yeah, medically there's nothing wrong with them, you know.
Right.
So, you know, then that's when you kind of get the church involved and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's not like the churches comes out and like it's like throw holy water and you know every day is an exorcism, but it's kind of crazy that the church actually has an exorcism department, which is like bonkers, you know.
They do, and apparently they're overbooked. If you try to look.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, a lot of folks they really claim. So there's a lot of folks that, you know, especially in the South, right? Some of these sundown towns that they don't really venture off for diversifying themselves. They kind of stick to themselves, and they a lot of times they'll call in for these people to come in because they think that whatever is going on in their household can only be explained through religion and through, you know, possession, instead of something that's medically, you know, diagnosed. That a lot of times it probably is something medical instead of possession.
Sometimes. I
Eh,
mean,
So I myself, I think I've seen certain people be possessed. I have a couple stories, but one in particular, I don't want to give out names either. But
Yeah,
one time,
no names.
one
No
time,
names.
this dude, we were chilling with him, and we were kind of drinking and whatnot, and he was freaking out and then yelling for us to tase him. He said that he saw the eye of God or something like that, and was just going off. I think that dude was possessed. And he wasn't really like under the influence of like much or anything crazy. He wasn't under like flakka or nothing, or no like crack, nothing like that. Man, regular dude.
Just
Uh,
yeah. Maybe I mean I've seen some bunker stuff with some of my psych patients, working on the ambulance,
yeah.
so Mark said he was on that good shit. Yeah, man.
Too good.
Yeah, too good. He saw God with it, man.
And live to tell the
But yeah,
tale.
no, man. Yeah, working on the ambulance, I seen my share of like psych patients, and it could easily be, psychotic. So it's like, where's that point? Because like
Yeah.
the voices, like in this movie too, after the little boy lost it, and Arnie got it, and they were in the jail, and the little boy is like, yeah, it's always cold, they're always in your head. And I was like, fuck. I was like, that was deep. That's like scary. It's like this like 12-year-old little boy telling this grown man, they're like, oh, I know what you're going through. I was
Right.
like, shit,
That's
that's right.
nuts.
Yeah. So
And the
but
fact that
then
he
he was
remembers
saying,
that too. The fact
oh,
that he
I'm sure that
remembers
shit you
his
probably don't
possession.
forget.
That
Yeah.
that's super traumatizing.
Oh yeah, because then he's like, yeah, the voices you hear, and I know like whenever like mental health patients they hear voices, it's never like, oh, you're doing a good job. It's
Yeah.
quite the opposite. Very very bad stuff. The voices in people's heads are never positive. They're always violent and aggressive. It's
Yeah,
bad.
so I actually follow this guy on TikTok. You guys should probably check him out. His name is XO Rad. Wait,
Hmm.
XO Rad Magical or something like that. I don't know, something pretty off. And he's an artist. He's like a young artist. He's like, I don't know, 20 something, and he's been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, and he draws what he sees. He can actually
Oh
really
yeah,
really detailed draw like what he sees and when he hallucinates and whatnot, and it's
yeah.
amazing to see. I think it's Exo Red Magical. I want to say it's that.
I check that
But
out.
he's like a dude that, like, I love him. I hope he's doing well. But like, man, a lot of the stuff that he sees and what they're saying to him, like you said, is never positive. It's never like, hey,
Yeah.
feed yourself today. No, it's more like, hey, you know, I don't want to get too specific, but like it'll be things that it's
I-
just doesn't help you, doesn't benefit you. Let's just say that
yeah. Yeah. No, it's
most
pretty
times.
bad. I'm
Hmm.
assuming. Let me see if I can pull this up. I think that's him. Is that him?
Yeah,
Yeah. So these
he
are
sees all these
some
face.
gnarly drawings, man.
Yeah, yeah, he's
Yeah.
really detailed, and he sees them like all the time. He lives with them.
Yeah.
They're like his pets. If you were to think of like Michonne from The Walking Dead and her zombies that she would walk with, that's him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's rough, man. It is rough
Hmm.
to to be with. When I was in nursing school, we always had all these like trainings and stuff like that. Obviously, you're in school. But
Right.
one was when we did our psych turn was we had a kind of like walk in their shoes type of thing. So we had headphones, and they were like these little old school kind of like MP3 players.
Yep.
And so you put the headphones in, and you just put the thing in your pocket. You're walking around, and you're trying to do things, and the whole time the voices you hear through your headphones, and they're supposed to mimic the voices you hear in your head.
Right.
And sometimes it's quiet, and then sometimes it's just like little things, and then it's like, and then it's just
Ooh,
like noises. I was like, that's crazy.
freaky.
I don't know how people like it's I how people can live with that is it's rough, man. It is rough. Rough, rough, rough.
So very funny that you mentioned that. If anyone has ever done shrooms, right? That's something very similar you can experience when you do shrooms. You'll hear these very distinct sounds and noises. You can almost like hear Earth breathing and talking to you. It's a very weird feeling, but yeah, very creepy to experience if you're not ready for it. Which who is, right?
Yeah, I know who's ready for that. But I mean, that was one thing with this movie is the person, crazy, or did the devil make him do it, kind of thing, because that's what the court case was about, was he was possessed, so it was either life in prison. I think the death sentence, I think they said in the movie. I don't know if I don't know if it was real life, but I'm assuming, but that was kind of like bonkers, so you have to prove to the court, well, and there was one thing where my God, I can't think of his name, Wilson's character,
Ed Warren.
Ed, yeah, where Ed said to the lawyer, he goes, before every person takes a stand, they have to like swear to God that they're not gonna lie. So it's like, so you're swearing to a God, so if you're swearing to God, then there has to be evil. There has to be the demon part of it. So if you believe in this, you have to believe in that, because that comes with it, So he's like, why is it not crazy to like swear to God or your soul's on the line, but then when you claim like the devil made you do it, that you're possessed, that people are like, whoa, you're a little crazy. It was like, but you just had me like swear my soul, like, it was like, so
it don't add up, man.
Yeah, no, but that's an interesting thing. I never really thought about that. And then he said that. I was like, oh, that was
when with any case, right, it comes down to evidence. So if you can prove that the devil made you do it, you got to prove possession. You got to prove, and how do you do that? You get professionals like Ed and Lorraine Warren, who specialize in that. They're lucky that they had them. If they didn't have them, then man, homie would have been gone.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people they helped out, in real life, so it's pretty cool. I mean, not pretty cool, but pretty
interesting.
Pretty like cool of them for doing something like that. You know what I mean? Like, even at the very least, if you don't believe in it, it's peace of mind. It's like they helped somebody out, whether it was real or fake.
Right.
They helped them out to get past that time. So for me, it was like, that's a lot more than a lot of other people can say they do. But yeah, I think the plot for this one was pretty simple, like possession, and then they're just going out and proving that he was possessed. So he killed somebody. That's why he's in jail.
Yeah.
And he was possessed, and now they're trying to prove that he is or was possessed at the time of the killing.
Right.
So that was kind of interesting.
Right. So. It all came down to, and they kind of start to see like a pattern, with a couple cases to where whoever was possessed, they had a hex totem, with the exception of Arnie's case, right? It started with the little boy who was David Glatzel, yeah. He was, I mean, he wasn't really the target to get possessed, but whoever approached the bed where he, like saw this, water bed, super old school, I think like 70s bed, and he was like playing in it, and under that bed, under those floorboards, was a hex totem. And so a few things I want to point out, right? Hex totem, scratch marks on the wall, right? We saw that in the movie. A witch, and what else? There's a couple other things.
A Satan cult,
satanic.
The Ram Satan cult, which was the cult in Annabelle.
It was. That's right.
So that's how they linked that. Well, I thought was pretty interesting.
All of these themes, I don't know, man. I know I'm kind of biased, and I'm gonna say it, but all of these things are the same things that are in Dead by Daylight, which is a video game that's on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, almost anywhere. In this game, there's totems. There's a witch character that's a killer. You see scratch marks when a survivor's running. Like I kind of feel like, and maybe I'm calling this way so early, but I feel like this movie might get cosmetics or some kind of licensing deal with Dead by Daylight, and we might get cosmetics in that game. There's so many things that tie this movie. Like
I can see them. I can see them doing that.
Like when I was watching this movie, I was watching it with the wife. Like there were so many times where I'm like, hey, look, DVD, look it. And I
Like,
almost thought
where
it was on purpose, but no. And like the whole idea of it being this entity, that's another thing that's in Dead by Daylight, another theme, I should say. But yeah, like so these totems, right? These totems are put there from someone. There's a reoccurring like connection that Lorraine can sense. She has like this like sixth sense where she can feel and have visions of certain things.
Vision. Oh,
And
that's super cool.
right, and to think that she had those like all her life, like she's been proving people left and right. There's video evidence of it too.
Yeah.
She's on something. That really makes me happy to know that humans have like these extra, um, you know, extra ass abilities that if we try to like use them, we could unlock them.
There you go. Get my background.
Ooh, all the little gems in
That's
the.
the actual Annabelle doll there. So
That's creepy. Yeah, crazy masks and little. Oof. That gives me chills, man.
it does, man.
I like. I'm one to believe in ghosts and this kind of thing because I've seen it for myself. I'm a guy that like I have to see it to believe it. I can't just have it hearsay and be like, oh yeah, ghosts are real because so and so says so. No, like I'm like, no, I don't believe you. But I have like seen them. I think your cat is looking at a ghost right now. I swear to God.
Well, they say cats are supposed to be good for keeping them away and stuff like that.
I've heard that too.
Yeah, it's supposed to like warn you. There, that's a good one. Get all the creepy stuff.
Ooh,
Man, that's the actual Annabelle doll, man. That doesn't freak you out.
That's nuts. So nicely packaged.
yeah, man. But yeah, man. Yeah, like what you were saying is just.
Yeah, so it was the connection that kept leading Lorraine was to this lady, right? This mystery lady who was a kind of a witch. She was kind of doing satanic rituals that a witch would do, and spoiler king alert. We come to find out that she is the daughter of a priest that hid her whole life. How would that make you feel that you're born into the world and no one can know about it? That sucks.
I know. Well, and your mom and her mom died like in giving birth. So it's like, oh, double whammy.
Right? You got to deal with Bucko dad that doesn't know shit about being emotional or things that you would need in a mother. That nurturing feeling or anything like that.
Yeah.
Nope. She got robbed, so she grew up a little off. Let's just say that, right? And she got interested in the dad's line of work, right? He's a priest, but he's kind of on Warren, kind of job where he also collects these figurines and these haunted, vessels and these dolls and stuff like that. He does the same thing. He has his own room, just like that way, just like those.
Like this one. Which I thought that was kind of weird. Those like the Warrens were like, "Whoa, you should burn this." I was like, "You do the same thing." I was like,
"Yeah,
why are you mad at him?" I was like, "You do the same thing."
I don't know. I guess maybe Lorraine got bad vibes. Like, oh, you're not holding this together well enough. If that was the case, they should have asked the priest dude, like, hey, why don't you let us carry these things for you? We'll take better care of it. But no, they said, burn it.
Yeah, I know.
What gives you the right? But yeah, real creepy. So what is it? Kastner. Kastner's that ex priest dude. That he kind of reveals some stuff about the Satanist cult, the Ram, and the daughter got hooked on that. That's what it comes down to. She got hooked on that. She really dove into that world, and then she became full on witch. She started, which I guess has not been. Maybe you can answer this, but I don't even know if it was revealed in the movie. But why she was putting out these hex totems? It was for a reason. I know they mentioned
she had summoned a demon.
Yes.
I don't know why she did. I think she was just curious.
They mentioned that the Satanists or whatever they're called in the cult, the Ram, that they do these sacrifices just randomly. They literally said that. They were like, yeah, we just
Oh
randomly
yeah, that's fair.
random offerings that they do, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, but like I don't know, man. Like it's just weird that her first Hex Totem was under the bed, and it was meant for the little boy. This ritual that she does is you're supposed to have a killing of someone young. You're supposed to have a killing of someone holy, and then a suicide. A suicide has to be the
Was it
third.
suicide?
Yep.
Okay.
So she wanted to knock out two in one by choosing the boy. Right, the boy would kill himself, and this whole ritual that she does, it's on its own little timer. It goes when it goes. Right.
Yeah.
There's no really controlling it, and she just like watches over it with this altar that she has. You get a few glimpses in the movie about the altar.
Like right away, you get the glimpses
Right.
through Lorraine, the wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the altar is the key to all of this, by the way. Spoiler alert: the altar. If the altar is where you started the spell or the curse, and the altar is where it has to end. You got to destroy the altar. We'll see that later on, but like for the most part, she set up that totem for the boy, and Arne Johnson, trying to be hero, he robbed her of that and said, "No, take me instead." I didn't even know you can get around these curses. Like I wish there were better rules to this, and I know they had that book in the movie, but like who knows about these rules?
Yeah, but you got to figure like if a demon has a little boy,
yeah,
you would want somebody older and stronger and more access to everything. So if like a grown man is saying like take me, he's like okay, like you could do a lot more.
It comes down to remember the Chucky movies back in the day, Child's Play.
Yeah.
I mean that wasn't by choice him getting in the doll, but when he was in the doll, he was looking for a young vessel, if you want to call it that. I don't know. Would you want a grown? I guess yeah, you would want a grown man so you could have some power in your body and not just be like a little boy. But I don't know, man. I'd probably go for somebody young so that they're unsuspecting. That's just me though. If I were to
I think
get
that's yeah.
get possessed of someone, I'd get a little a young person so that it's unsuspecting. You wouldn't expect a 10-year-old to be a murderous killer or something or do some
well, I know like
crimes.
The big thing is like demons like always like they do the possession of younger kids because of their innocence. It's kind of like an fu to God. They're like
okay,
like this one is still pure and clean and innocent. He doesn't know what evil or bad or hasn't done anything bad yet. Okay. I'm gonna take him away from you. You know what I mean? Whether an adult has already done things that like they have to repent for and stuff like that. So that's like kind of like the reason why they go for kids is also they're easier targets, but also like they're so innocent. So it's kind of like supposedly it's like a fu to God. They're like
makes sense.
Like, oh, this is one of your good ones. I got him.
I got him.
Which sucks, And it's like, but yeah,
that's the way it goes.
Yeah, like if you ever seen Constantine, I always thought Constantine with John Wick or not John Wick. Well, John with Keanu Reeves.
You might as well be John Wick.
Yeah, at this point, I love that movie, man. I made you haven't seen it?
I gotta
yes, with Keanu Reeves is in it. Shia LaBeouf is in it. It's based off the comic book character Constantine, but it is still to this day for me the best version of Satan, like the actor that played Satan, like who he is, and you're like, oh yeah, no, you look like a grimy little evil bitch. It's like it was such a good movie, man. It's such a good movie. I liked it, man. It's still one of my favorite kind of like stuff like that. That always said Patrick Wilson deserves all the love. He's always amazing in these movies, though. He's amazing in everything he usually does. But the combo between him and his wife, the girl who plays Laverne,
Vera Farmiga.
Yeah, I was gonna say them two together. They just got like that chemistry or something where they just like they have that like where it looks like they do like they are like married. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just they just have that really good chemistry together on screen. So I'm glad as long as both of them want to do more, I'm all for that, man. The side ones, I can take it or leave it, but the Conjuring ones,
oh yeah,
I want more. I want more. I want the samurai. There's in their room when every time they walk in, there's like a samurai suit. I was like, I want a samurai possession one. Let me see that story.
The fans want it. Hopefully they deliver, man. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I want this one to do better in theaters so they can keep making more.
Oh, another theme coinciding with Dead by Daylight. The samurai is a killer in there called the Oni. Boom. Boom.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I gotta play that game with you, man.
Right.
At least try it out.
The how do you say? So the boy that was one. Then when what's her name, the witch started to realize that the Warrens were on her tracks with that connection thing. Then she put a freaking totem on Ed. That was a crazy fu to them. That was like gangster for that one. Striking at them like that. She put it in the form of like a vase of flowers for like a get well kind of thing. That was, I think it's like later than what he already was recovering and whatnot. I mean, he got to business right away.
He had a heart attack. That's one thing we forgot. So he was like, he had a heart attack in the first one with the kid. So he's kind of dealing with that.
He was the one who witnessed the demon leaving the kid and transferring over to Arne. That's right.
That's right. Because he was telling Arne, he's like, stop talking to him. And he's like, don't do it. But at that point, like the kid was like crushing his heart. Like the demon and the kid was like, I'm gonna, crush your heart. And so he like literally gets a heart attack. So, I didn't see it like something like that. That's more realistic. They're like, oh, no one saw it except for the guy that had a heart attack. But it's just not like, oh, he randomly had a heart attack. Like, no, it like layered itself perfectly where you're like, okay, I like it. It's not just sometimes where movies they're like, oh, that person saw it, but that person's in a car crash all of a sudden. You're like, that's so stupid. Like this is like
no one to verify it, Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just better storytelling rather than just a random reason why no one can verify it, and then it's something that he deals with throughout the movie.
Right.
As well. It's not just like, oh, he had a heart attack and then they never talk about it ever again.
No, he's over here recovering. He's in a wheelchair for like the first little bit. He's
passing out, running, sweating, trying to run at least.
Yeah, he was about straight business. He was like, that's for a couple that doesn't get paid to do this. Like, I don't think they really get paid. Like, I'm sure they get tipped or they get some kind of like thank donation. You.
Well, I know they wrote books. They wrote books and stuff like that.
Okay, so I guess that's.
I'm sure they got some money. But I mean, they're not out there asking for money. Like, I don't want to call out Kenneth Copeland, but that piece of shit. We're gonna talk about somebody who's gonna rot in hell.
Oh man, it's for real. I'll take my seat. But I think the movie was really good. The way it ended was they find out like, hey, who else is really knowledgeable about these hex totems? They find Kastner.
Yeah, Father
Kastner. He doesn't tell them right away about the daughter, but then later on he does. So that was kind of weird that he kind of withheld like very important
information. Yeah.
Like, I forgot to mention my daughter that I totally traumatized her. She's out here doing some crazy shit.
And she might be in the basement.
Right, yeah. With secret tunnels to a satanic.
That was the one thing I was like, she's in the basement and you just had them there during the day when she's at her weakest. It was like, hey, go bash that table she's working on. Okay, cool. It was like, but it was like, yeah, he just didn't tell her, but at least it gave her, again, more of a realistic reason. Like, oh, it is his daughter. So it's like, kind of want to protect them kind of thing. But
yeah, it makes the whole believability of, oh, okay, he's a priest. He's really trying to keep that under wraps. But at this point, when he sees shit's, going to hell, he lets them know, and then they go destroy the altar. And happy doodah, she gets pissed. And how does she die? Does she even die? No, right?
Yeah.
So the soul thing.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You want to tell her?
So that's part of the contract is she's gonna she brought a demon out, and then they were gonna part of it is like, oh, here I'm gonna give you a soul because she's satanic worship, whatever kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But that once that demon's out, it wants a soul. So which I think is like so stupid. Like, why would you do that? It's like, oh, if you don't get that soul, you can take mine. Kind of, that's not a good deal. What are you talking about? Why would
she's way too confident. She's so confident. She's like, nah, I'll get you that soul.
You're not. I guess that's part of the thing is that not greed. What is it? Like overconfidence kind of thing. That cockiness.
Yeah.
It's like it's like isn't it one of the sins or something like that?
Oh, pride. Yes, she was
pride.
Definitely that pride. Pride, extreme sin. Yeah, man. She was just super cocky. Was she a good villain? Do you think she was a good villain?
I thought she was pretty good. It was interesting because this one, all the other ones were ghosts or demons. This one was a person, which I thought was more interesting because they were dealing with the demon, but the demon was simple. They figured that shit out pretty quick.
Limited, too. Very limited.
Yeah, so the demon was like, "Oh, I'm just here to get a soul because this dumb broad brought me out."
Right.
So I thought that was like really cool. Where the first one and the second one dealt with demons and possessions and there's a reason why they're there. This one is like, oh, she brought the demon here. I don't know. I like that. I thought she was a good bad guy, and then she had the power too. So they like Lorraine and her were able to like talk to each other in their vision.
Right. Yeah,
that was unexpected. I thought that was really cool. And then she controlled the fat dead guy, which was pretty fucking scary. That was interesting.
Oh, she's a good witch.
That one.
She's a good witch.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, she had that face too. Was it Bonnie Aaron? Though she had that very witchy kind of face, like sunken in.
Oh yeah, man.
Kind of thing. Was it Bonnie Aaron? No, it's not Bonnie Aaron. Bonnie Aaron's is the one who played the nun.
I forgot who she was. She was Eugene Bondurant. Is that the one? No. Yeah, it is. Eugenie Bondurant.
Yeah, the occult.
Damn, she's like even in real life, she's like bones.
Very,
bro.
very, very thin. Yeah.
She's scary in real life, bro. No offense to her.
She was Hunger Games.
She looks hungry, bro. But yeah, she was in the Hunger Games. I don't remember her.
Yeah. I was using the last one.
Oh,
yeah, okay. She's very, very thin, and obviously they made her look more very sleek, very thin with the all the black dress and made her like face look more like sunken in and stuff like that. So she was a really good, I thought, a good bad guy. Different from all the other ones. That's what I really appreciated. They're different. Each one was its own story and own thing.
So I keep looking at other reviews, right? Since I've seen this movie twice, right? I've seen it twice. I kind of looked in on some other else's reviews, and it's getting a lot of bad reviews from from ignorant points of views. They didn't understand the Hex Totem like concept. They didn't understand things like why the lady was involved or whatnot. Maybe like the believability factor like didn't add up for them, and I can't take that away from them. But I don't know, man. I think this movie really broke it down to a simple, like, not so confusing, story, but still told a good story.
Yeah. Deal. Oh yeah, it's not doing too well. It got 59% on Rotten Tomatoes, 6.10 or 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb. Yeah, that's good. I enjoyed it.
I can appreciate the genius that was put into making this film. I even like things down to like the room of goodies, right, that you have on your background, like showing off all the Easter eggs of other films and maybe possible future films. That's great,
I love when
things
they
like
do
that. That like Marvel is synonymous for doing things like that, adding in those little Easter eggs, like, oh, that wasn't that one film, like, they do that all the time, and that's what really makes the fans enjoy the little things. The little things are what matter.
Yeah,
and
that sucks if it's not getting good reviews. Yeah, that's fitting. But yeah, no, I agree. It's always the little things. Like what I was saying earlier too was, if you watch the old ones, there's a lot of references. Like the cult that the main bad woman, the witch, is part of was the cult in Annabelle. Is the reason why Annabelle became a thing is the same kind of cult. The Satan Ram cult or whatever it was called. Right. So that was kind of like thought interesting. It was like little things where they just, it tied things together, but if you didn't know it, if it didn't like you weren't lost. And I love when they do stuff like that. So it's like here's for everybody, but then there's things in there that are for the people who enjoy all of it, kind of thing.
So special.
Yeah. Well, it got a 59% for the critics. It got an 84% on the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
But that's still not that great. I don't know. But we'll get into the reviews in a little bit, or at least our reviews.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much how it ends. Well, then I like the demon that got her soul. So Ed broke the table, like you said, and stuff like that. Big showdown at the end, and Ed just tells her, he's like, "Oh, well, your contract was a soul for the demon, and he needs his soul." And she started like getting all like twisted up and shit. I was like, "Oh, that's so cool." Yeah. And then the demon version of like her came out, and I had that crazy face with the fangs, and like this like just like grabs her face. And then she just falls to the ground. Yeah, it was like I thought that was like it was simple. I was like, I don't need a big like explosion, or like an exorcism where the head's spinning. Like that was good. I liked it.
Yeah, I agree.
It was the evil witch versus the good witch. That was kind of what it was. It was like Laverne got the powers, that help people. And this one's got the power for demons and shit like that, Satan. So it was like evil legit.
It's kind of reminiscent of what is it, the Wizard of Oz, the good witch, bad witch, and all that.
Yeah.
Who knows, man?
But yeah, I thought it was really well done, man. I think it was good.
I gotta ask you, do you think in today's world, right, it is possible to prove that a demon or a supernatural entity made a person do a crime? You think that can be proven today?
It's got to be so much harder, so much more harder. Where before a photo was kind of like a decent amount of evidence, or like, oh, I have this photo, I have this video, and you're like, got you red-handed. Now, with deep fakes and everybody knows how to edit on Photoshop and stuff like that. I mean, it's it's got to be a million times harder to prove something is legit, which says a lot about like our political world, too. But that's a whole different conversation. But it's just like, it's so hard to prove things now because people are able to make fake things, that look really, really real. You know what I mean? So, and that deepfake technology is getting better and better.
I keep seeing
and easier.
On TikTok, there's this one guy that has, I don't know what kind of software, but it's like way better than any face swap software you've seen like on Facebook. He can make himself into, what's his name? Mission Impossible. I can't think of his name.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. He makes himself.
Is that the guy on TikTok?
Yeah, he's on TikTok, and it's like even when he turns his face, there's no glitching. There's no like that you see on Snapchat. If you try to use like a Snapchat filter, you'll see like a little glitch when like it moves out of no, not this guy. He can be what's his name?
That's what I'm still trying to figure out. Like, does he just look like Tom Cruise that much? Or what? Because I know what you're talking about. He was on H3 podcast.
Oh, was he? He hasn't revealed. Did he reveal himself? He revealed his real face or no? Or did he keep his,
he's always Tom Cruise. Yeah, he's always Tom Cruise.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, when he went on H3, he was Tom Cruise, and he looks. I know who you're talking about. That's why I'm like I can't tell. It's like, you just look like him that much, or are you using like software? Because,
I think it's gonna be a little bit of both. So like
possibly.
if you remember the film, what is it?
We said unless your name is Fredo. I know how to edit. It's all right. Fredo's a boomer. If you're watching Fredo.
If how do you say? I think it's a little bit of both. I think maybe he's a lookalike, and then found this software, and then like hand in hand, just like with Paul Walker, his brother, right? His brother looks a lot like Paul Walker, and do that and not so recent anymore. Was it Fast and the Furious 8 or 7? One of those when he passed away to finish.
Yeah, it was like the first one he had. I think it was 7, possibly.
7. His brother filled in, and he looked like Paul Walker, and then also CGI technology. Combine, you get a better scene. But even this, I can't think of his name. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise's CGI is better than the Fast and the Furious, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
whatever.
But that's the thing is like, is it real or is it fake? Because it's so, I know it's so spot on, man. It's so spot on.
I'm pretty sure it's fake, dude. Because I think Tom Cruise is not that fit. The guy that's playing this Tom Cruise, he's real skinny. He's real lean and has like real elastic young skin looking. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean,
unless Scientology has like taken Tom Cruise to the next level. I don't know what's going on.
It could have. Well, here, real quick. I know that's him. That's the deep Tom Cruise. That's the fake Tom Cruise. That looks insane, man. Like
the smile, the laugh, surprise.
Yeah, I mean,
so much range in that face.
It's so crazy. That's why I'm like, part of me is like, is it real? Is it just him being that good? Because I was like, it's too good. I don't get it.
I wonder how the real Tom Cruise feels like. I wonder if he's like pissed, if he's making money off of his name, his face.
True. How do you think about it?
I wonder if he's gonna get sued. Even who knows, man. I mean, he is advertising himself as the fake Tom Cruise, so maybe he's not like purposely. I don't know. That's a weird one.
Yeah. I mean, also it's like you are an actor, so does it where does the actor / character line meet? You know what I mean? So whenever the deep Tom Cruise, the fake Tom Cruise does anything, it's always that exaggerated version you always see of Tom Cruise on TV and stuff, so where is the character person kind of line split? I mean, maybe Tom Cruise doesn't have it, he's just always like that, which would be insufferable, but I mean I would believe it. But yeah, no, I mean, going back to the original question is I don't know if you can prove stuff like that now, because I mean, especially now, people still think the fucking world's flat. I was like,
oh yeah.
So, and there's pictures. I mean, freaking Tesla sent a car up in space and took a bunch of pictures. There's people who've been into space and saw. It's like, oh no, it's round. I don't believe you. So and now we're gonna expect people to be like, oh, look at this exorcism. She was faking it.
I have some faith in this one rapper. His name is Logic. Maybe you're familiar with him. He, like, in an interview, told the interviewer one time, like, hey, I can actually be one to attest to this, that the world is round. And he's like, not to flex or anything, but I've actually flown around the world, and yeah, I can confirm the world is round. So if he said it, I'm pretty sure it's believable now. I mean, I know how can
there's still so many people. It's insane.
But yeah, the deep fakes are getting scary.
Yeah, the deep fakes are good, and it's just becoming easier and easier. Where now it's an app on your phone. Granted, they're not the greatest, but they're pretty good, and that's just an app on your phone. Imagine if you have like the actual software on your computer. And I know, like, if you ever seen the deep fake of the Step Brothers, like, did we just become best friends with Schwarzenegger and Stallone? It's awesome.
Oh,
it's
you super,
yeah, where it's Stallone and Schwarzenegger as Will Ferrell and the other guy, I can't think of his name.
Chris Riley, something Riley. John C. Riley.
John C. Riley. And that's really good. And I guess like those deep fakes take like a long time to render and stuff like that. They did it with H3. I know I'm talking about H3 a lot, but they did it with H3H3 where they put Ethan was Kevin, which was really spot on because they're both kind of like chunky, and then the wife Ela was oh my god, I can't think of her name, but she was the love interest of Michael. She had but she had left. She's like the actual the one he should have been with. I think he was with at the end.
You talking about in the office?
In the office. Yeah.
Holly. Talking about Holly.
Holly, yes.
Holly.
And they did a deepfake with those two on those two faces, and it was so good. So good. And the person who made it said, yeah, it took a couple days. Damn. So, when you have the know-how on how to do it and stuff like that, it looks really good, like really, really good. So it's getting scary, what people can do. So yeah, it's hard to confirm stuff like that anymore.
Nowadays, how can you even trust the news? How can you trust the news? I know I'm getting super conspiracy sounding right now, but what's to stop the media from just like pushing out a bunch of fake stories?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the world we live in. I think that's why, like, I know a lot of people hate Twitter, and I'm not a big fan of Facebook because it does push a lot of like BS shit too. But I think Twitter is a good way, where what things going on in the world, and it just sucks more and more of like China and other crazy countries are blocking people from being on Twitter because they're like, we don't want you to tell other people how shitty you're being treated. Yeah, blocked, so but they get around VPNs and encryption and all that crazy stuff.
True. But you can get nowadays, you can get like a free VPN trial for like a week or a month or something.
Oh yeah,
and do hella stuff during that time.
Yeah, you watch any YouTube video. Like I use ExpressVPN. So ExpressVPN, if you're listening, we would love to sponsor you, or for you to sponsor us. Right. That'd be awesome. But I use them, but if you watch any YouTube video, at least half of them have ExpressVPN as a sponsor, and you get like 3 months free or something crazy like that. And it's so hard to see me do anything major on the internet without a VPN anymore. I was like, how was I not using this?
It's like walking out the house naked, pretty much. You just
kind of, and I have it on my phone. I have it on my girlfriend's phone. I have my computer, my laptop. I mean, anything that has internet, I have the ExpressVPN on it. So, it's for me, it's a good
way to protect yourself, protect your information. We got to clip this one, man. This is a free one for you.
I know. Send us ExpressVPN. Come on, man. Well, I do use it. Yeah, but it was just like once I started using it, I was like, how did I not use this earlier? And I always tell like Omar, I know he does a lot of stuff on the internet too, and some of my other friends, I was like, get it. It's worth the $12 a month or whatever it is.
Seriously, you can pay like yearly sometimes. You can pay.
Yeah,
like,
I think you can pay a whole year.
I'm gonna do that. So I haven't really, messed around with the VPN too much, just because like I care about my PC. So not that you don't care about your PC if you had one, but like you leave yourself also vulnerable too. If you go into what I want to do is go into the dark web. I want to dip into all of this, man.
You better buy a whole different computer.
Yeah, you gotta buy a burner.
That's what people do. They buy a cheap PC. Computer. It has none of your information in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You create fake emails. You create these brand new emails not attached to anything. You do that on a guest Wi-Fi network. You don't do it one that's on a password.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's so many steps you got to take to get to the dark web. But I plan to get there, man.
It's risky, man. It's risky. I've never done it, but I always see videos and stuff like how to do it, and it's like that's a lot. That's a lot of steps, a lot of security, and definitely not do it on your normal everyday computer.
No,
you need to have something.
You got to know that going into the dark web, you have to know that people are out to get you. They literally are. As soon as you go into the dark web, you enter that portal and you're in that world. Right off the bat, someone's trying to get your information. Someone's trying to get all that.
Dynasty Pylon. The devil made me do a dark web. That's the Conjuring 5.
You're
Conjuring
going way
5 or
too far
6.
ahead.
You're
We'll
looking
spoil
at
that
you're
one.
looking in the future, man.
That's in the works for sure.
It would just the dark web made me do it.
That's like what we
That's
do.
that's the new one now, man. It's the new one.
We just gave
That's funny.
the guys that scary movie their parody.
Yeah, we got Conjuring. They give more stuff. Oh man. All right. So, what do you think about the movie? Did you like it? You didn't like it?
I think I really liked it. If I had to give it a rating, I would say watch it now. As much as it got
Yeah.
so much bad hate, I personally,
I
I'm a
don't
fan of
get
this
it.
series. I'm a watch it now kind of guy for this film. The
Yeah.
Conjuring, Devil Made Me Do It.
Yeah.
That's what I give it. What
Yeah.
about you, man?
So Oli agrees. She goes, "This is a now movie." So I agree. So yeah. So this is a watch it now. So we're before I forget, we're trying to get a new rating
System.
system for us. So we're doing it now, later, never. And so now means go watch it right now. Later means whenever you have a chance, no rush, and never means don't even bother, obviously. So, but this one is to me, this is a watch it now. I thought it was really good. If you like horror movies, this is good. It's not too jump scary because that gets a little boring at times where you're like, it's not scaring you, it's just flashing in your face, so you're not scared. This one, there are some like pretty scary parts, like the fat guy in the
Oh,
morgue. Yeah, that was pretty scary, man. That was some good makeup and effects too. But it was scary because of the story. It wasn't scary because something just randomly jumped out at you. Which when a scary movie could do that, then that's always good. Which I appreciate the jump scare, but now a lot of scary movies tend to do it way too much, way 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 too much, and it kind of like I was like, well, you didn't scare me, you just like you threw something at my face. Of course I'm gonna
yeah.
like
Flinch.
it's
Yeah.
just like yeah, it's a reflex. But
Something
now
natural.
this was a really good movie. I enjoyed it. Oh, I didn't know if it yeah. Oli said the same thing. This is a now movie. It's in theaters. So if you want to go to theaters, go to theaters, watch it. I can see this being pretty good. But also it's on HBO Max, which is
Hell
also
yeah.
really good. If you got a nice big TV, some surround sound, watch it in the middle of the night, put it nice and loud,
Oh
4K.
man.
This is good. This is good, especially if
Oh
you
man.
like scary movies. It was really good. I enjoyed it.
Hell
I
yeah.
hope they do more. I was reading that a lot of people thought that this might be that this might be the last one with them with
Ed
and Ed and Lorraine. This might be like their last story. I'm sure they got a bunch more like stories. Yeah, I know, right? We're gonna do the crying effect.
They're
Um,
they're a good couple.
yeah,
I think they should do more films. I'm not like typecasting them as the duo for horror, but like they're doing great.
yeah.
you know.
She's great. Laverne, he's great.
Mhm.
Just together, they're so good. And as this couple, if it could transfer to something else, cool. But as this couple, she's really good with like seeing that whole few or past kind of stuff. Like when she freaked out the cop, I thought that was great. Where
Oh
he's yelling at the cop, he goes, "Oh, she doesn't do carnival tricks,"
yeah.
and he wanted to test her skills. So he gave her like 3 random weapons, and he's like, "Oh, which one's the murder weapon?"
She's
She's
like
like, "That one
that
right
one.
there." Uh huh.
Easy.
But then like it happened a few more times. Like as they were driving to the scene of the crime,
Mhm.
um, she's like, "Oh, you passed the exit." And he's like, "Huh?" She goes, "Oh yeah, no, she died back there." And he's like, "Okay." It was like you saw the cop started realizing. It was like, "Okay, so she kind of
She's the real
knows her
deal.
stuff."
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I think that helps back it up too. It's like if you can get a cop on your side, they're somebody who's gonna be probably more skeptical about it. But if you can get a cop who's like, she knew this, she knew this, she knew this, and there's no way she would have known it,
Mhm.
So
That was mad respect when like even the cops gave the Warrens their case files that are super
yeah,
confidential. You can't give out to the public like that.
yeah,
But she proved herself that much that she was with the shits and could like, you know, break down anything supernatural and have that kind of connection. The cops were like, you know what, here you go. You want the case file? You proved yourself. Boom.
Yeah.
One
Well, they
thing
also
that
helped each other out. That was kind
yeah,
of like,
it was.
scratch your back, scratch my back kind of thing.
One thing that I still ask myself, and no one's really been talking about it, is the daughter of Ed and Lorraine. She's in
Yeah.
this movie. She makes a very
Yeah.
brief appearance, but I wonder, is that sixth sense something that is passed on genetically? Can she get it? Can she have the sightseeing? In the first Conjuring movie, we know or we see that the daughter has a connection to the mom with this necklace, right?
Yeah,
And
that's what it
and the what is her name? Lorraine, she sees her
Mhm.
daughter like in the water or something in a scene where she looks like she's about to die. And turns out on the other end, like I think she was fine at the time, but she was, it was kind of foreshadowing her being in trouble. So if she has a
Yeah,
connection to her daughter, I think that's mostly just Lorraine using her powers. But I wonder if that's reciprocated. I wonder if that's a thing that the daughter can do as well.
passed
She has
down.
she hasn't shown her ability to do so, but I feel like that opens up a door for maybe passing the torch to her. Who knows? I wonder if she's even
Yeah.
alive still, the daughter, or if she's even a real being in real life. But that'd be interesting
I'm
to.
sure she is. I think she is. It was like Judy Warren, I think. Um,
Mhm.
I think she is alive. 'Cause, my girlfriend actually told me about Lorraine. She was in one of those ghost hunting shows. You always
Oh,
see
was she?
on yeah, she was like really old, but yeah, she was on in one of those ghost hunting shows like that. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I
Oh,
think she's still alive.
so Judy Warren, she is still alive, but her
Yeah,
name is Judy Spera. I think she got married or
Vera.
something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's a real character. I wonder, like, no one's really asking her. I wonder if she has the ability, if she has that extra sixth sense. A lot of people that not a lot,
I
but
mean,
I know of a few people in my personal life that actually have some kind of supernatural ability or an ability to see the supernatural or see spirits or just things that are just not of the normal world. They
yeah.
can see that. I think it's real out there. I just wish I had it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be kind of scary though too. It's like seeing and hearing things when you're not expecting.
Yeah,
You know,
I've seen a couple times like one spirit. I think I try to make like reasonable explanations for everything, and sometimes I can't even bring one up. I'm like, damn, why did I feel like I've had a spirit grab onto my leg, and it was like a grab, like enough to where
ooh,
like if I would have checked fast enough, I would have seen like one of those things. What do you see? Like a grab mark.
yeah, yeah,
Real
like
scary.
burn mark
Scares
almost.
the shit out of me. Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah,
but I don't think I have that gift. I don't think I have that actual gift. I think I just had a spirit that was just trying to reach out to me. Who knows? Maybe I'm just seeing things. I don't know. Could be a lot of things.
yeah. Oh man, excuse me. But yeah, man, I if I gotta tell, go watch it, man. If you haven't seen this movie, go watch it. It's worth a watch. I enjoyed it.
Cool.
I'm trying to think of anything else major in this movie. I hope they make more. I really hope they make more. I enjoy it. They're good. They're really good.
I
Um,
agree.
if this one got hate, I don't see why it was getting hate. You know, I mean, maybe people are just kind of over it. Um, well, one person's this is somebody, a top critic, said, I don't find these films frightening, but the Warrens as a couple with their daffy retro updos that look Victor was it Quasky or whatever Victorian and Brady Bunch is have grown at me at this point. They're just dorky, and I like watching them hang out. But if you see the pictures of them, it is
Yeah.
also based in the '70s.
Right.
You
Like, well,
know, so
y-
or this one was early '80s.
their
But
their drip's not gonna equate to something hip in today's world. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
You got to
Yeah,
realize that. But yeah, whoever
yeah.
wrote that review, they sound like a piece of shit to be honest. They sound like they're hating hardcore. Like they're dorky
Well,
up. Shut up, dude. Like you
it's
really.
yeah, Amy Nicholson from Film Week, NPR, Los Angeles.
Mm.
Yeah.
Amy can go suck a lemon for that one. How are you gonna hate on the Warrens for what they're wearing? What?
There's another one from Real Reviews, real quick. Was it's an adequate horror movie with the requisite atmosphere and jump scares, which I don't think it had jump scares, and it provides Conjuring fans with their fix. However, as the latest chapter of what is now a trilogy, it's a disappointment.
I don't
He
think
still gave
so.
it a good. He still gave it a tomato. He still gave it a good one. I don't know. I don't know. Well,
You know what? I think that the line that was drawn in place to what made people dislike it, I think is what you said earlier. I think it came down to it being not a supernatural villain, and it was more a human as a villain. I think people didn't like. That's what it sounds like. That's the only pattern that I'm seeing is that was the only thing that really changed out of this whole thing. Because again, it was a great story, great characters, great setups for these scenes. So what really changed that really made people hate it? It sounds like it was the human aspect of the villain. I think that's what people hate.
Well, here's one that's a bad one. He goes, the thrill is gone. The fun has died. The point is blunted and yet more dangerous. So don't be tempted by the conjuring. The devil made me do it. I thought it was really well done. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a professional film critic. I guess I didn't go to film school also.
Right.
Which is still the thing that pisses me off is like that No Man Land won an Academy Award. And I was like, a lot of these film critics are so far up their own ass with all this stupid shit. It was like, because that movie sucked. I'm sorry, it sucked. I know the director of that movie is directing the Eternals.
Yeah.
But man, I don't get that movie. Because the story, I don't know. But this is also the same people that are like, The Conjuring sucks because it's not real. The thrill is gone. I was like, but yet you like No Man Land for whatever reason. I was like, okay, especially over the movies. I know. Maybe next year if you want to do it, me and Fredo do our top movies for the Oscars.
Okay.
I was like, that was both of our least favorite film out of all the movies. Like we liked any other movie was better than that one. Yeah, for me it was that bad. But that's why with a lot of these critics, I kind of like take it with a grain of salt. I'm like,
they're getting paid, bro. I think that's what it is.
Well, they do get paid.
What's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio is one that should have gotten an Oscar for so many films.
Oh yeah.
And he's not a suck up. He ain't like one to like be out and about and you see him so many times with the paparazzi. He's not one that's super public like that. He likes to keep to himself for the most part. And he's not one that's trying to buy his views or buy his fans. He doesn't do that. He's just genuine as fuck, real down to earth, and he makes his films and goes home. Like he's a good dude, but he don't get shit. He's gotten one Oscar. He should have gotten an Oscar like for at least Titanic. At least Titanic. Come on, dog.
Titanic, Romeo and Juliet. I mean, he's done so many like amazing movies.
Yeah, he has.
Wolf of Wall Street. Oh, Wolf of Wall Street.
That's man.
Man, that's Hollywood, man.
But yeah, I'll be down. I'll be down to join you guys. For next year, especially if I'm there from the beginning, then I can really judge from all the movies. I'd have to play catch up if I was going to join you guys this time around.
Oh yeah, no, we usually we plan ahead. So as soon as they announce the nominees, we start trying to watch whatever we can watch and stuff like that. We usually get through everything too, so that should be that's always fun, man. That's always pretty fun. It's a lot of like some are movies that I was like, oh, I'll probably see those, and then some are movies where I'm like, I don't ever want to see those, but you have to watch them anyway.
Yeah.
And like for me, like sometimes they're like, oh wow, this is a really good movie. Like The Father has became one of my favorite movies of all time. Like it was just that good, and he won the Academy Award. Anthony Hopkins, yeah, he won the Academy Award over Chadwick Boseman. So a lot of people were kind of mad there.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. But all right, man, we've been going on for a while. So yeah, so we got we're both saying go watch it now.
Yep.
But let's see where we at. So that is it for today's episode. But don't forget about our other shows. tomorrow we got the Panda and Grizzly show going. They're breaking down a couple more weeks of the NFL season, what the Bears are going to do, and the OTAs. And also, there is going to be a Dynasty Pylon episode tomorrow as well. I think they're going to have some guys from a different Dynasty IDP podcast on their show. So that's going to be pretty fun too. Nice. And then Wednesdays, you always have Martin and Mark there doing IDP and Dynasty Fantasy Football. Then Thursdays, you have me and Alfredo. We do Did We Just Become Best Friends podcast, where we just kind of talk about whatever's trending in pop culture. And then every Sunday morning spike, where we talk about fantasy football and NFL updates. And we start answering all your fantasy football questions when the season starts. And then, as always, every Monday you can catch me and Will here at Spoiler Kings movie review. I always forget to get what we're doing next week.
Next week, what are we doing next week, Oli?
She knows.
Oh, she knocked out. Damn.
See, I got it right here. So we are doing In the Heights. If you still want to do it, I don't think there's anything else really big coming out.
Okay.
But it's also Lin-Manuel Miranda. It's going to be a kind of a big deal. You know, definitely it's his big follow up to Hamilton. Well, technically he did this before he did Hamilton on Broadway, but you know, he's still dude's an instant legend now. You know. So hopefully we'll do that. But if something else pops up, I have to look at the schedule. But I don't know if you want to watch a musical or not.
I mean, I watch Disney films, so
yeah. So, but yeah, we're gonna do that next week. So that is it from us, the Spoiler Kings, this week. Go watch The Conjuring 3. Don't listen to the critics. Make your own opinion. We liked it. Let us know what you think down in the comments. We go a little back and forth on some thoughts of the movie. But we will see you guys next week with In the Heights.
Later.